Today, Christian and I are putting downtown under the microscope. You've probably heard downtown living overrated, full of tourists, no real community here.
Well, it's time for some myth busting. We'll talk about what's actually real, what's been blown out of proportion, and where living downtown really stands today. And yes, we'll sprinkle in that insider data you asked for.
So whether you're looking to move to downtown, invest, or simply curious, stick with us. Drop your questions below and we'll answer it on the top of our next video. Hey, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. Let's dive in.
Myth number one is that downtown is only for weekend visitors, tourists, and nightlife. And it's not really for serious full-time residents.
Reality? According to Downtown Knoxville Association, there is over 4,000 permanent residents in the Central District, and historic lofts, modern condos, and new builds.
And yes, of course, there are tourists, just like any big city. But you have to keep in mind that there are also families here, there are schools nearby, and grocery stores too. I mean, plenty of families call this place home. So if you're sitting there thinking, not really a community, well, hold on, because there absolutely is.
Now, if you're worried about tourist invasion, well, you still get it. You'll also get that dog-friendly patio, the Friday happy hour, and your Sunday grocery without even leaving your zip code.
Myth number two is that when living downtown, you're paying top-tier prices for a tiny little parking spot, some old building, and a bunch of traffic.
Fact check time. The cost of living in the downtown region, it's about 17% lower than the national average. Now, that's region-wide, okay? Not just downtown, but it gives you context.
And downtown doesn't have to mean extremely ultra luxury pricing, right? I think the entry level right now for one of the condos downtown is $360,000. Now, of course, there are luxury condos. There's one, top penthouse, $2-point-something million. Of course, those exist as well. But there are also converted lofts, mixed use areas, and more affordable units compared to major metro downtowns.
So yes, you will pay a little premium for the location, but you won't end up necessarily in a lifelong debt like you would in some other downtowns. In short, premium, yes. Backbreaking, not always.
All right, moving on to myth number three. Living downtown means noise, crime, weird hours, and it's never quiet.
Here is what the narrative misses. Knoxville has invested in downtown's live, work, play infrastructure, walkability, and reinvigorated mixed-use buildings.
Are there inconveniences? Well, of course, no city's perfect, right? You'll still want to research your building, the block that you're on, and the timing that it'll take for you to commute between those areas. But the generalized fear of it's unsafe doesn't really hold up when you go block to block.
And conveniences? Imagine just walking to brunch, errands, events. Yeah, that's downtown. If you hate commuting and love a walkable life, downtown will surprise you.
All right, so here's myth number four, and it's that downtown's lost what's made it special. And truly, that's just not the case. People say there's too many tourists, too many bars, and too little original character.
Now, some angst here is legitimate. A recent piece pointed that downtown is evolving rapidly, gaining some things and losing others.
Now, change doesn't necessarily mean loss, right? Evolution specifically. This more so means, high ceiling lofts, industrial history preserved lofts like the Candy Factory lofts, and a vibrant food and art scene. We're really on the trend of restaurants and things like that. And that kind of evolution, I think, is absolutely worth it for a city like Knoxville.
So if you really miss the 1980 downtown, then you're right. You might feel a little wistful, but if you're open to the new living era with a historic core, then you're in the right spot.
And not to mention, there is an entire sector of Knoxville called the Old City. And this is a very incredibly well-preserved part of the entirety of that 1980s city era. So, you know, it really does just depend on where you want to live. And if we're talking like distance traveled, it's a walkable distance to the Old City from downtown. It is considered part of downtown Knoxville.
And really, downtown has become beautiful. In the 2000s, it was scary to go to downtown. There was nothing. All of the buildings were pretty much abandoned. There was nothing. Now today we have our beautiful Market Square, Gay Street parades. Old Gay Street is a beautiful food scene. I think it has evolved to be a beautiful and walkable place.
Absolutely, and continuing down Gay Street, I mean, we've got the Tennessee Theater, which is an incredible landmark of the entire, basically, state of Tennessee. We've got plenty of bars, plenty of nightlife, a couple of bowling alleys, and some great eateries. If you ask me, I think downtown's evolution has been absolutely top tier. Now, here's our recap, right? And our most important point is that downtown is not perfect, because no city really is in the entire country. But for many buyers, relocating professionals, and even some small families, it offers a unique combination of walkability, location, character, and value compared to different downtown cities.
If you're coming expecting just fun at night or too expensive for what you get, you'll leave surprised. If you came with the idea of quiet suburbia with nothing going on, you are here for a treat. So what do you think? What are your biggest questions about downtown Knoxville? Leave us a comment below and we'll address those questions in our next video.
And remember, tap that subscribe button, hit that bell, and stay connected for more insider data on Knoxville's real estate market with Castillo Realty.
See you next time.